and the building would start shaking, and suddenly everyone would get up and go, ah, yuruturu, 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 which literally means it's shaking. That's the thing in Japan. Like, language is just kind of, I don't want to say that it's obvious, but it's like the language is there to just kind of, support what's already there. If there's subtext to it, it's so close to the surface that everyone just understands that's what you're saying. So in anime, for example, characters, you'll notice, often wear, in the Japanese versions, in the original version, characters often wear their hearts on their sleeves. They're very, very earnest. There's not a lot of duplicity. If there is, you can kind of see it from a mile away. There's like the shifty eye, dun dun dun, oh, he's lying kind of thing. But for the most part, characters are very sincere. They use language to be kind of obvious. And in English that doesn't work because we don't talk like that. And so to make a piece of dialogue sound to resonate with English speakers, you have to sometimes make the characters say just a little different, but because we understand they mean the same thing, but they're just not putting it in the same phrase. So as an adapter, to get back to your question, it's a very long way to travel, I know, I'm very sorry. But when I'm adapting, our rule of thumb is this. For example, what's important is not so much the words. The words play a kind of ancillary role. What's important is what the character feels and what the original creator wants to convey. So in the event that a joke is happening, like there's a pun or there's some funny bit of humor, the subtitle version should tell you as closely as possible, I feel, what was being said. So you, if you want to study Japanese, can understand, oh, that's how that works. The dub should make you laugh. And there's certain things that just don't carry over. Like a great example in Oron High School Host Club, they call Haruhi a daikon at some point because she's a terrible actress. And that means, like, calling someone a daikon, a radish, in Japanese, is kind of the equivalent of us saying someone is a ham or someone is wooden. Now, we understand that if you're saying, oh god, that performance was so wooden, like, we understand that that's an established trope in the English language, so we know what's going on. If we had chosen to, like, oh gosh, he's such a radish, it becomes funny. Oh my god, he's such a strawberry, right? And so we're trying to convey, so dealing with stuff like that is always interesting. But as an adaptive writer, one of the most rewarding experiences is getting to see, the dub version of something that you worked on as a writer hit and resonate with audiences just as much as the original did with its first intended audience. Because to me, it proves that all the things that the show is really about transcend the language barrier and prove that it can survive or even thrive under adaptation in various languages just speaks to the fact that the original creators were dealing in universals that speak to all of us regardless of language. So that's, I hope that answers your question. Thank you for that very beautiful question. Let's go to see the yellow sleeve, like the red, yes, you're like, oh, that's me. I love when people don't know what they're wearing. They're like, yep, oh, blue, that's me.
I'm a voice actor trained, like I'm going to theater classes in college right now.
I'm so sorry.
I have to memorize 5 monologues by the start of the year.
That's adorable.
I was just wondering, what would you say is the best way to mentally prepare for a voice acting compared to theater?
Okay, I'm glad you bring this up because this is more food for thought for you. Show of hands, because I know there's going to be a few of you. Who here has an interest in voice acting, like would like to be a voice actor? Now, please keep your hands up for a moment. Of those of you that want to be voice actors, how many of you also would love to do stage or film? Awesome. Most of your hands stayed up, but a few hands went down. Cool, you can put your hands down now. So here's the thing, and you have to be honest with yourselves. A lot of people that want to get into voice acting, and I just know this because I have experience in it, a lot of people that want to get into voice acting are really, they're attracted to the creativity of it. They're attracted to the chance of getting to essentially a play, be a character. That's the appeal of acting, is getting to be in another character's skin, kind of inhabit a mind, not your own, and maybe learn a little something about yourself in the process, and to entertain people, make them laugh, make them cry, whatever. There's nothing like it in the world. It is much harder to do with just your voice than it is with the whole apparatus that is your body in a stage setting. So any of you that want to go into voice acting, please understand that you do need training in a traditional setting first. Because the key word in voice acting is acting. And stage background or some workshop is something. Acting is not a craft you can learn to do on your own in front of a mirror. You really need to be with other people, do scene work, and actually get in front of a live audience if you can, because nothing will teach you what works and what doesn't about your take on a character like actually getting immediate feedback from the many-headed hydra that is a paying audience. Are on stage, when you are in front of a camera, there are a lot of things that help you create the character, create a belief in the performance. A lot of things that help you. One of my personal favorite acting teachers, a guy by the name of Sandy Meisner. You may have heard that name if you're taking classes. Famously defined acting as living truthfully in imaginary circumstances. Right? And so, if anything that you have in your toolkit that can help you create that imaginative reality for yourself helps you live truthfully in it, helps you deliver that performance to an audience, to make it real and resonant with them. When you're on stage, you've had weeks of rehearsal, hopefully. You have costumes, you have lighting, you have sets, you have real actors, real living, breathing, flesh and blood human beings on stage with you that hopefully know their lines too, and you can work off of them, and it just makes it organic and real. In film, you have much the same thing, though sometimes you have to take it shot by shot, and it's a little more artificial because it's not unfolding in real time, but you still have sets and costumes and other actors. In a booth, you have a mic, you have an engineer, you have a director, not the same person, and you have you. And everything that you would have to convey to an audience with your body and with the circumstance of being on stage, you now have only your voice. So rather than being liberating, it's actually much harder because you are alone and you only have your voice. And you can't even move that much because if you say a sleeve rustles, it picks up on mic and ruins the tape. So you have to be stationary and communicate all these feelings. Sometimes you're fighting. Anime, frequently you're fighting, or video games, you're fighting, and it's like you can tell a bad actor from a mile away because they go, I'm hearing someone grunt while standing still. So being able to convey things like that, really, really important to know how to do, and you have to learn how to act first because basically voice acting compared to other more traditional types of acting, it's kind of like being asked to build a house using only a hammer. Like, that's all you get. Not even nails, just a hammer. Good luck, build me a house. And so I tell you right now, those of you that want to get into voice acting because you just don't think you could cut it on stage or in front of a camera or something, please get experience on stage because I've seen so many people that come in with that attitude, like I'm a voice actor and you will treat me like a diva and I want room temperature water, and green M&Ms, and it's like what? You're like whatever. So please understand that when you're auditioning, you may be nervous. Awesome, be nervous. Use it. No one, if you're nervous before an audition, that just means you're human, and no one in this business is going to be like, oh, you're nervous? Please, I thought you were an actor. Like, no one cares. So you just learn to transmute the nerves into the performance somehow. As I do, and because I still get terribly nervous every time I can go audition for something, especially if I don't know them. And be nice, be a nice guy. The thing about this industry is everyone wants to do it. Everyone loves the creative jobs. Everyone thinks they can because we all play pretend as a kid. And everyone's like, well, that's all acting is. I can play pretend. Oh, good luck. Let me explain real quick the difference between pretend and acting. They're related, of course, and you need to be a good pretender to be a good actor, but they're not the same thing. When you're playing pretend, the only person you have to convince of your performance is you. Compare that to having to convince an entire audience of people who are not rooting for you. Different entirely. It takes a whole different skill set. You have to learn it. You have to learn the craft in a workshop or a theater setting with other people in real time. I believe that. Anyway, if you ever get the chance to go on audition, be nice, be professional. Remember the receptionist's name because that's just a nice thing to do. And, just be that guy. Understand that however good you are, if you're not a nice guy, there's someone just as good who will get your work. So, hope that helps you. Your hand here. Thank God. Please, bring the room up a little bit. I need you. I would be an uncooked noodle. Just for the range. You put the striped thingies on the sleevelets. Hi. Good hair, on point, love it.
I was wondering if there was perhaps like maybe a mold of some sort that maybe you didn't get it.
Oh, yeah. Tons of those. Tons of those. You want everything. I want everything. This is me with every single part. Oh, I totally want to get this. I've never gotten an audition going, oh God, I hope they don't choose me. I don't like getting work and making rent. So that's the thing. So first of all, I will never tell you the roles that I didn't get because they went to someone else that I know, and I don't want you to think of, oh, what if Tatum got? No, because their performance was great. Every time it happens, it's always a friend, someone you know, in. He knows. That will get the role that you didn't, and you're like, son of a. But then you go and watch it, you're like, oh, okay, but you're so awesome, you're so great. I don't even think of myself as in the role anymore. Because honestly, the reason I want something is because I find the character appealing, and I guess sometimes that means you have to accept that someone's going to be better at bringing it to life than you. And as long as whoever does it does justify ourselves with stories. And so if you're able to bring a story to an audience that suddenly makes someone gives someone a little bit of perspective on maybe what they're going through in their day-to-day life, it's a great honor to be part of that. It just is. So even if this is not my story, the chance of getting to bring that story to life for the person for who it is just deeply moving. And I always feel that if there's ever something I'm working on that I don't I can't find something about it that makes it interesting or fun or something. It's a failure of my own imagination, not the show. And if my imagination is not that good, I shouldn't be an actor. So.